Welcome to Roots and Branches of Lehi, the podcast where we get to know the faces, stories, and lives that make up our community. I'm Ryan Harding, and I started this podcast as a way for us all to connect with the people we live alongside. Growing up in a small town, I learned that connections go beyond blood. They're built through shared experiences, friendships, and the moments we celebrate together. Each week, we'll sit down with someone new from Lehi to share their unique story, their passions, and what they love most about living here. So whether you've been here for years or just arrived, join us as we deepen our roots and reach out to our branches one story at a time. Welcome, Ken Greenwood, to Roots and Branches of Lehi. We're excited to have you on the podcast today and get to know you a little bit better. Give me a little background about yourself. Are you always from Lehi, or give me how long have you been here for?
My great-great-grandfather, William Cairn, he was Thomas Cairn. He was one of the first 5 families to settle here.
Okay.
And they came here and had a hard time finding a place to settle.
Yeah.
Because American Fork people had camped along the creeks and one thing and another with the water. And they got kicked out of here and kicked out of there.
Yeah.
They ended up down on the shore of Utah Lake.
Okay.
Just north of Utah Lake. And they was talking about moving again. And I read this in one of the books. My grandfather took off his coat and threw it on the ground and says, "If I'm going to starve to death, I moved to starve to death here."
Okay.
And so they must have been a little bit persuaded, because that's where they stayed for the winter. They tore the wagons apart and tried to make some shelters and one thing and another. So that's how my maternal side of the family got here.
Yeah.
And if you fast forward, my brother and I, we were in business in American Fork, primarily doing floor coverings and that type of stuff. And just about every building on Main Street, Lehi, had a 4x8 piece of plywood painted white with "for sale" on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was driving down, and I thought, well, maybe I ought to buy them. So I bought them all.
Okay.
They were cheap.
Good.
Everybody wanted to get rid of them.
Yeah.
And we put businesses in each one of them.
Okay.
We moved our business from American Fork over to here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was standing outside one day and looking up and down Main Street. There was not one car coming or going or parked.
Wow.
Not one.
Not one.
Not one car. The whole,
Yeah.
far as I could see west,
Yep.
far as I could see, not one car.
Wow.
And I thought, what the hell have I done? And
Sure.
anyway, it was about what could we do to maybe help stimulate customers, this type of thing.
Yeah.
So where the Parker Brown building was,
Yeah.
that was a vacant grocery store and had been vacant for several years.
Sure.
And we took both sides of that building. We put that mansard roof that's on the front of it now
Mm-hmm.
to hook the two buildings together so they look like one.
Yeah.
And we put a kind of a wedding reception center type thing,
Mm-hmm.
smaller thing in the small side.
Okay.
And then we went into the furniture business, had all our furniture displayed in the larger side.
Mm-hmm.
We thought, well, if people come to weddings, let them stand outside while they're waiting to get in, they can stand inside.
Yeah.
And I like that couch, or I like this chair, or maybe
Sure.
I like that lamp.
Yeah.
And it actually worked. And people would go in, and we had it decorated, I think quite nice, on chandeliers and hanging glass ceiling and all that kind of stuff. And
Sure.
it worked out.
Hmm.
And where the old Blue Rock limestone building is,
Mm-hmm.
that was my grandfather, when I was growing up, he ran the pool hall there.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I have that bar that was inside that pool hall in my home right now.
Oh, wow.
And
Nice.
I hauled it out and took it up home and kind of refurbished it and made kind of a bar for a kind of a party room type thing.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember going in there as a kid with my dad. He's going to have a beer,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd sit on the end stool closest to the door,
Mm-hmm.
and Grandpa would set a little shot glass on the bar, and he'd pour a squirt.
Mm-hmm.
And then when nobody was looking, he'd give me a little drink of beer.
Uh-huh.
So that's where I found out I liked beer.
Okay. There we go.
And a story of yesteryear. I assume it's true. One of the Main Street out here, that was a thoroughfare for the traffic going east and west, just like it is now.
Yeah.
Only then it was mud and in the winter and hard dry dirt in the summer.
Yeah.
In fact, they used to run the sheep herds as they were running through town, especially in the spring. They'd be bringing them from their winter pastures out west and bring them through town and take them up on the mountains up to the east.
And they do them just on Main Street.
Well, they ran it through Main Street because their feet of the sheep would flatten out the ruts that was in the street from the winter.
Oh.
In fact, there's a tamper they use in road construction. I call it a sheep's foot tamper. Because all those hundreds of thousands of sheep walking would just kind of level the ruts out.
So it's actually helpful for the road.
Oh yeah, they done it on purpose.
Yeah.
And but there was the story goes that there was a guy that used to always be in the pool hall, and there was a runaway with a team in a wagon, and a lady was crossing the street with one of her children. I don't know, boy or girl, I don't know. And the little kid got hit with the wagon on this runaway team, and she went running in the pool hall and wanted to know where so-and-so was. He was, we called him Jack Mormons then. He was a Mormon.
Sure.
Latter-day Saint guy.
Yeah.
But he'd like go play a pool and drink a beer.
Yeah, yeah.
And so she went running in and she grabbed him and he says, "I need you to come out and give my boy a blessing." So it must have been a boy.
Yeah.
And he says, I can't do that. I'm not worthy. And she says, "I don't need you. I need your priesthood." And so she hauled his butt out and made him go give her kid a blessing. I assumed the kid lived because I didn't. So I'm hoping he did.
Yeah. Wow.
But that's kind of a folktale thing that come out of the.
Sure.
But anyway, we went. We put a gift shop in that building. There was the next building down was the old Larson Market. I think that started out as a saloon. I think they called it the Log Cabin Saloon or something. But we remodeled that into a hair salon business. And then in the kind of little lean-to thing on the side where they kept their compressors and that for what used to be a market, we cleaned all that out and we put a milk depot in there.
Okay.
And there was a dairy down in Delta that was marketing milk, and they put it in plastic bags and you seal it. Saved all of the bottling and expenses of bottles and caps and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So we started marketing that milk through there because we sell it cheaper, and thought, well, anyway. And we kind of marketed that there's a new bag in town, and
Sure.
it's kind of worked. But then, and then if you go on, what is it, Second West, the building across, I think there's Alton's Carpet is in there.
Yeah.
We bought that building and used that more or less as a warehouse for a carpet and pad and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then we had a fire that pretty well gutted the furniture store and the reception center and all that kind of stuff.
How'd the fire start?
It was, we think it was arson by kids. One of my wife's relatives, she taught school up at Lehi Elementary, and one of the little kids, I think she taught first grade, a little kid kept telling her, my brother set fire to that store, and the family moved out of town. So we assumed that that's what happened.
Oh, wow.
And the town really rallied around us. They had some banquets and fundraisers and this type of stuff that to help us,
Get back on your feet?
get back on our feet and really help us. That I think the banquet they had raised $10,000.
Wow.
That was a lot of money back in the 60s. I mean,
that is a lot of money, actually. Yeah.
It was a lot of money now.
Yeah.
But it was a lot more money then.
It was a lot more money then, sure. Yes, in the 60s for sure.
Sure, turkey and gravy and that.
Yeah.
Sure, that many people. But anyway, we felt kind of like we actually turned the whole place into a reception center without the furniture, and then we concentrated primarily on floor coverings and wall coverings, that type of stuff. And it kind of based on that experience with one of our Kent Shepard, he was in the market, in Colder's Market one night, and said, "Why don't you run for mayor?" And the more I thought about that, maybe I can help give back to the community.
Sure.
By serving the community, and
yeah,
that's why I kind of got into mayor business. I've often said, there's one prerequisite to being mayor.
What's that?
You have to have a low IQ. You can't be very smart.
You can't be very smart, huh?
And I thought, well, I qualify for that.
There we go.
And
Okay.
So I thought, well, if I got a low enough IQ, maybe I could run it. So anyway, I ran for 2 terms. I served 2 terms and got kicked out. I'm actually really glad they did.
Are you?
Because we ended up being called on a mission to the Kenya Nairobi mission in East Africa.
Wow.
My wife and I, and I've those experiences we had there, and the people that we're still engaged with even today.
Wow.
Almost 20 years later.
Yeah.
We're still. It was a life-changing event going there, and I felt good about being mayor. We've done some good things, made some mistakes.
Sure.
All the thing was, but just looking at reading your list there about things to do, I think we've really dropped the ball as a town. That we went from, I think there was somewhere around 16,000 people.
Yeah.
When I went in as mayor. And 8 years later, I think there was close to 40,000 people.
Okay.
And today, I think there's close around 100,000 people.
Yeah.
We basically have the same transportation system now as we did. It's the same pioneer transportation system. All they've done is put hardtop over the ruts, so we don't run the sheep through town to level it out anymore.
Sure.
But they're basically the same roads.
Yeah.
When there was 3,000 to 5,000 people when I grew up in town.
Yeah.
And I think as an elected official, we rebuilt 12th East to have some type of an artery to get people off the bench.
Yeah.
And now, what used to be just almost a country road,
yeah,
has stoplights on it. It's incredible.
Yeah.
The amount of traffic is coming down that. And now we put all these people here without really a good transportation system put together.
Sure.
I dropped the ball.
Sure.
And everybody since me has dropped the ball.
Sure.
By not addressing that problem.
By getting those things fixed. Sure.
Well, it should have been a priority, and it was, just build houses, it'll take care of itself. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It needed prior planning, and so I'm not throwing rocks at anybody without throwing at myself first.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And so as far as what I see politically, I think that's one place where I think I could have done a better job.
Is with the roads and the infrastructure. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, and so that's basically why I'm here and how I'm here and
yeah,
the type of thing. So
yeah.
If there's anything else you want to ask me, or
I do. So let's go back into some of those things. So talking about Lehi and stuff like that. What was it like to grow up in a place that you said it was 15,000 people to a very small town. What was that like to grow up in a place like this that was very, just very small, very farming community kind of thing?
I'll talk about it from my side of the family, okay?
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, my grandfather ran the pool hall.
Yeah.
And then my mom and dad, they ran a beer joint in American Fork called the Curve Inn.
Okay.
It was right as you in West American Fork, as you come around on Highway 89, you come down, you meet into there's a car dealership right on the.
Okay.
You meet right in there.
Yeah.
And this building, this beer joint was right on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
And there was an open-air dance hall right by the beer joint. Good
Okay.
place to have a dance hall and
Sure.
a beer joint.
Sure.
Dancing,
and
partying go together.
Sure.
Type of thing. And when I grew up, the word of wisdom was really a strong part of the church here in town. And so it's looking back on it, coming from a family that smoked cigarettes and drank beer, and this type of thing was looked down on to a certain extent.
Sure.
And I'm glad to see that change.
Yeah.
I married a girl who was very active in the church, She asked me on a date.
Mm-hmm.
She shouldn't have been asked me on a date.
Sure.
She jumped the fence. She shouldn't have done that. She's been paying the price now for almost 67 years.
Sure.
But we've had a good marriage, and we've been active in the church. And I'm not throwing rocks at anybody, but it's we do have a tendency sometimes to judge people by where they are instead of who they are.
Sure.
And that's been a good lesson for me to learn.
Yeah.
And I'm not throwing rocks at anybody, but you asked me the question, what's changed?
Yeah.
That's the change that I've seen happen.
Sure.
We're more accepting of people who are not necessarily colored with the same pencil.
Sure.
And or believe exactly the same as we do. So that's one of the things that I see that's affected me and that I've been a part of and I've lived it, type of thing.
Yeah. No, I like that. Especially, I mean, you mentioned your wife. Obviously, she must have had a good influence. Maybe she got you to jump the fence back, I guess. Is that what,
Well, it wasn't quite that honorable.
Not that.
It was the first girl's choice dance.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, forever.
Sure.
And so when the phone rang and I said, hello, and she said, this is Rita Wing, and I just called to see if you'd like to go to the twerp twirl dance with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, gee whiz, I didn't know there was a twerp twirl dance. I had no idea.
Sure.
And I said, yeah, I'll go. And so we went, had a good time, all this kind of stuff. And then I played football in high school, and we had just played Pleasant Grove, and they beat us 7-6.
Okay.
They went on and took state that year, and we thought we should have beat them. We was on,
7-6.
It was on a 1 foot line.
Oh, wow.
And we couldn't get it across before time went out.
Oh, no.
And we lost 7-6. And she came out on the field, and nice job, like that. So, you know. So we'd been married for a couple of years, and I was sitting on the chair one day, and I looked on the bookshelf by the chair. I reached out and pulled out a yearbook,
mm-hmm.
and it was her yearbook, the year that we got together. And I'm looking through this yearbook, and I see these boys get little checks by their names, I'm looking, and there's a check, why not? My name.
Yeah.
And I thought, and about that time, she come walking through the door, and I says, you little shit, I wasn't the first one you asked to go to the twerp twirl dance, was I? And I looked on her face, I says, that's okay. I said, okay, at least I was the last. So, but it's, so it was, she waited too long to ask somebody to dance, and all the good ones was taken. So she ended up with me.
So she ended up with you.
So it,
hey, good. That worked out for you, though.
Well, yeah, it worked out really good.
Yeah.
And it's worked out good. We got 4 boys and a girl, and they're all upstanding, great kids.
Good.
And contributors wherever they're at, and they're, it's been not bragging on them, but they're good citizens. They don't, and it's, so it's one of the better things happened to me in my life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So that's.
Well, so tell me you talked obviously about going on a mission, and you started off, in the pool hall and the drinking and stuff like that. Where was the transition, in your life as far as, maybe activity in the church and stuff?
Well, we were in business here in Lehi, and I was working literally from almost daylight to long after dark.
Sure.
And I was when it comes Sunday, I mean, I was just pooped out. I was give out.
Sure.
I mean, I was laying there, and my wife, she always went to church.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I'm laying there in bed Sunday morning, and she's kind of getting after her 2 boys, getting ready. We've got to hurry, get going. And one of the boys, I don't know if it's Scott or Brad, probably Scott, he was the oldest. He says, well, why do we have to go to church? Dad doesn't have to go to church.
Sure.
And I'm laying there and thought, oh, shit. So I got up and fumbled through the closet to see if I had anything fit to go to church.
Yep.
And so I got up and went to church. I've been going to church ever since. And
wow.
It's and you tend to start believing what you start associating with. And
sure.
So it's I got one views on things. I won't try to preach religion to you, but
sure.
I stay close enough to the line. They haven't kicked me out yet. They
Good.
told me that I couldn't come.
Hey, we're glad you're on that side of the line, I guess, right? That's good. That's good.
Whatever. So you got another question? I'll try to answer that.
Well, so talk to me then about what going back to your business and stuff like that. So, what made you go into floor coverings and doing that kind of stuff? What was I mean, because What drew you to that world?
I was driving. We live in Salt Lake, and I'm living in Lehi, and driving to Salt Lake for work. And I was working for a kind of a dead-end job, a little manufacturing company called Vacuum Manufacturing, and my job to take, when you go to the dentist, they would and suck all the stuff out of your mouth.
Sure.
Those machines, I was putting new motors in. They'd get all plugged up and burn the motor out. And I really didn't like it.
Sure.
And here again, Ken Shepard, I bought a 1956 Hardtop Mercury convertible.
Okay.
And I thought, well, I'll give people rides to Salt Lake, and they can pay me to go to Salt Lake, and I'll pay for my car.
Sure. Yeah.
And so it worked out. And he was working at the time for a floor covering distributor, Volker Company in Salt Lake. And he said, well, why don't you, they're looking for somebody he knew I was unhappy where I was at. And he said, why don't you go see these people and tell them I sent you, and maybe they'll give you a job. Yeah. So I did, and I started, they gave me a job, and I was working there, and they basically taught me the trade. Okay. And I started doing a few little jobs down here in Lehi, and their store was in Salt Lake, and I was buying the material off from them and just coming down and just doing the labor on weekends and stuff like that. And one night the guy told me to, why don't you, we can't have you do that anymore. Yeah. And I said, what do you mean you can't? And he said, well, we can't allow that. And I said, well, I'm buying all the material off. And he said, well, you can't do that. And I told him, I said, why don't you just take this job and shove it where the daylight doesn't shine? I said, he said, what'd you say to me? And I said, you heard me. Yeah. And so I quit.
Sure. Yeah, you say those things, that typically, okay.
Yeah. And so and I kind of had in the back of my mind to go back to school. And so we took off and went to Logan looking for a job. My dad's cousin was head of the math department there at Utah State University. Okay. And went and talked to him, and he says, yeah, I can help you, whatever, And so I went looking for a job, and they were putting the gas lines in there in Logan, and I had on my best clothes, and they were digging underneath sidewalks, and there was about that much mud and water in the bottom of the trench. And the guy looked up at me and says, when can you start? I said, we need somebody right now. And I said, where's your shovel? Yeah. And so he threw me a shovel, and I jumped down and started working. Well, so I worked there during the summer, and I was going to school. Then I started working for some of the furniture stores there in Logan, doing part-time doing floor coverings. Okay. And I was doing a job one night in a new house on the way out of Logan up, and just started up Sardine Canyon. And I worked there on it. I picked up my stuff on the afternoon. I worked that afternoon all night, all day the next night. Yeah. All day the next day. And anyway, got through and took him back in, and the guy, he says, what do you mean you're through? He says, doctors don't make that much money. And I said, well, so am I through? And he said, that's just not right. You're not worth that.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Sure, yeah. You're not worth that. Well, okay.
I'll show you.
Yeah, I'll show you. Exactly, right? Yeah.
So I kept in my mind, and my brother came home out of the service, and he was looking for something to do, and it was coming summertime. I thought, maybe we ought to give it a shot. And so I decided we'll come down, and we kind of on a wing and a prayer, and we went into business, started doing basically labor on floor coverings, and one thing led to another, and entrepreneur this and entrepreneur that, until pretty soon we got more than we can do, and here we are, an old man later, answering questions from you. Yeah. Life's over.
So this was the business that you and your brother did together then?
Basically, my mom, she says, I'll help you. She says, I'll work with you. I'll take care of the inside of the store for 1 year. Okay. And then I'm going to quit. Okay. Nah, 16 years, I think she was still taking care of the inside of the store.
So she was there for a while.
Yeah. We worked the crap out of her.
So it was really a family business then, in a lot of ways.
It actually was. It actually, we got involved. My dad was working down in Geneva, and then he retired, and he would show up and trying to be a gopher, getting stuff for us.
Sure.
One thing and another, and so it was a good thing. Yeah. Lehi was it was a hard place to be in business.
Sure.
It wasn't like it is now.
Sure.
And in fact, they probably do as much business now, construction now in a week than they used to do in 10 years.
Sure.
I mean, it's just unreal.
Just, so much more.
So.
And did with that business that you created, is it, did you pass did any of your sons want to go into that business? What happened to the business, I guess?
They all did. They've all, they're all college graduates. If they worked on the side while he was going to school.
Mm-hmm.
One boy, he just retired. He was in administration at his school in the district here.
Yeah.
But for many years, while he was a classroom teacher, he was doing floor coverings for the district.
Okay.
He had a contract with them for several years. I mean, he would work nights after school during the summers and all this kind of stuff. And then the other boys, they've augmented their income by doing floors.
Sure.
Ceramic, they got in ceramic tile, floor tile, carpeting, that kind of stuff, So there's been a lot of people actually who trained over the years who went ahead and went on to do their own business in the same thing.
Sure.
And so it was a good trade to learn.
Yeah.
And it was it's good, and it's just, we branched out into other things. I got, there's really no old floor mechanics.
Sure.
Their knees wear out, their hips go out.
Sure.
One thing and another. I thought maybe I better start doing something different than
Sure.
what I'm doing. So we started.
Because there's an expiration date on this, right?
Yeah, your body.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so we started messing around with buying a few rentals and that, and so that eventually we ended up selling all of our Main Street properties and just put it into residential rentals, and even they're getting old now, just like the rest of us.
Sure.
But it was a good transition.
Yeah.
We knew how to take care of basically the inside of the house pretty well, and we could do our own repairs and especially floors.
Sure.
But,
and so then the transition, obviously, as a business owner, entrepreneurial, guy, you went into politics then.
Well, kind of as a politics, I don't know.
I guess true. Well, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm kind of afraid of the word politician because it's got a bad name.
Sure, it does. Yeah.
And we've given it a bad name.
Sure.
By putting up with bad behavior.
Sure.
And I'm talking primarily national behavior.
Yeah, it's the net. Yeah.
And locally, I'm not throwing any rocks. I think there's been some serious errors made.
Sure.
The Great and Spacious Building's one of them.
Sure.
I think that was a total ill-timed.
Okay.
Total, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It should have been put in transportation system.
Sure.
Not office building.
Sure.
They tore down perfectly good buildings because it was there when it was engineered and put together. I mean, that building was a strong building.
Yeah.
They could totally tear it down to build a new one in its place. It was awful.
Sure.
But they used that money to try to help the transportation system. They'd have done something. So I think they were wrong.
Okay.
And they call me wrong on something.
Sure.
That's where it goes in.
That is politics, right? You obviously always have competing views.
And that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And it's, but one thing about political stuff.
Yeah.
Political-wise, friends come and go. You get elected, and you got all this swarm of people.
Sure.
That come.
Yeah.
But make an enemy politically, you never lose them.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't remember that. Into the eons of time, they'll never forget political wrong if it affected them.
Sure.
They can't get it out of their craw.
Sure. It's hard to forgive on those things.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. I won't ever forgive them about putting all the money into this great spacious building.
Sure. That's hey, I get it. Yeah. Nope,
it could have been better spent.
It could have been better spent. Sure. I get that. Yeah.
And right behind my house.
Yeah.
There's a $19 million family park.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, little kids don't need $19 million playground.
Sure.
I mean, when I was a kid, shooting marbles and skip the rope and swinging on swings and stuff.
Sure. Very basic stuff, right?
Basic stuff.
Yeah.
And I think kids could benefit from.
Sure.
Rather than have ready-made, whippy, here we go type stuff.
Yeah.
But that's opinions.
That's opinions. No, exactly. And so talk to me about your time, when you were doing it. What are some of the things you're most proud of, You already mentioned one of the things you're not so proud of with transportation and stuff like that. What are some of the things that hey, we did that, or some of the things that you're proud of that happened or just took place?
What was the turning point for me was we had during the winter time we had quite an active youth basketball league.
Okay.
It was we were using the Armory to play in the high school. Mm-hmm. Every gymnasium we could appropriate for little leagues basketball, winter sports.
Sure.
Was there, and the high school team made it into the tournament in one of those years, and all of a sudden all those gymnasiums were shut off. They needed them to practice and all this kind of stuff.
Sure.
And the phone started ringing off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was all my fault.
Mm.
And like, hey, just a minute. Something that really does need to be changed here.
Yeah.
There was a guy by the name of Mike Hansen,
mm-hmm.
who had worked his tail off for years and years and years, serving the young people in town with their sporting programs, one
mm-hmm.
thing that on a shoestring.
Yeah.
And his real wish and desire was to have some type of a central place that he could work out of and have a sporting program for kids to do something.
Yeah.
And I was walking out of the north end of the office building at the time. I thought, something has to be done. It's got to be done now.
Mm-hmm.
And I started talking to different contractors I knew about maybe stand-up walls and all this kind of stuff. And there was a architect in town, I can't remember his name. Ed Collins came in and said, "How serious are you about a place for your sporting programs?" I said, "I'm totally serious."
Mm-hmm.
He says, "We want to look at something that I can't think of his name, the architect." And so we set up a meeting, and he rolled out the plans.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically the Legacy Center.
Oh wow!
And it was like, wow, this might be something.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing led to another. We're really sure about how things will work out, so we've done what we call a design-build
mm-hmm.
concept. We met every Monday morning and went over from the basic plan, what can we do instead of putting out change orders that's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And when contractors put together a bid and a plan,
mm-hmm.
they hate to change because that screws up other things they've
Sure.
got planned.
Sure.
And so we, Richard Ellsworth, he basically says, I'll do it as cheap as I can for you.
Sure.
And we'll work it on that way. So we did that. And that's how the Legacy Center came to be born.
Wow. So you played a role in that and having that come to be.
Well, my name hangs on the wall in there, and we put a bust of Mike Hansen.
Mm-hmm.
They keep moving it around. Sometimes they put it in the corner, sometimes they put it out in the closet, sometimes
Sure.
they put it up front,
Yeah.
And we tried to honor him because his, in fact, his wife, they just put him on this little Walk of Fame thing that they have.
Yeah.
And she called and asked me about this story about Mike. We were back in New York City trying to get the funding for the Legacy Center.
Yeah.
And I kept telling the guys I was with, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know anything what I'm... And they said, well, you're just here to try to tell them why we need this place, or just trying to make them feel good about it. Because basically it was what rating we would get on the bonds. Is it a junk bond? Is it a good bond? Or
Yeah.
it affects the interest rate.
Sure.
This affects the end cost of
Sure.
the building.
Sure.
And we were riding up the elevator at a very taller in this building. And I reached in my suit coat pocket and I pulled out, and I had Mike's funeral program in my pocket. I thought, I know what to say.
Yeah.
And we got in it, and there's this big oval table, and all these suits sitting around it, and they expect me to say something bright and intelligent. And I just took that out and I just slid it out on the table. And I said, here's a man who devoted his life to the youth of Lehi City.
Yeah.
We want to make this dream come true by providing a central point of interest and opportunity for the youth of our city.
Yeah.
We've gone through public hearings. We haven't had not one dissenting vote. from either the elected officials or from the townspeople. Everybody thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And when we got through, we were walking down and going out, and John, the guy that was, you have to forgive me, my brain's not as sharp as it used to be.
I understand.
Name was John.
Okay.
And as we was walking out of the elevator, he said, well, Greenwood says, you just saved your city a lot of money today. And we got a very, very favorable rating on our bonds.
That's great.
And so it saved the citizens, I think, a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
I'm happy for my camps, and I'm happy for the kids, because it's just a multi-use building.
It is.
They can be doing gymnastics. They can be doing basketball. They can be doing, and people will be running around the track upstairs.
Yeah. I was there this morning.
You were this morning. Good
yeah,
for you.
Yeah.
We had we bought a portable stage, kind of a great big house trailer. Essentially, you could open up and make a stage on it. And I wish we'd have made that so we could back that stage into one of those gymnasiums in the Legacy Center and have a portable stage for music and that type of stuff if we want to have a band.
Yeah.
And so we talked to the architect, and he said, I think we can do it. He said, I don't know about the height. We really can't, we're really, really close.
Sure.
And I said, if we're really close, we'll take the damn air out of the tire. We'll get it down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I went and measured it, and I knew it'd fit.
Yeah.
By 3/4 of an inch.
Oh, wow. So barely.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If it's 3/4 of an inch or an inch or a foot and a half, whatever it is, as long as it goes through.
Yeah. It
goes through.
Yeah.
The thing I didn't pay attention to, could you back it in and open up on the right side?
Sure.
Pure luck.
Oh, wow.
Back it in, opened up, and there's the gymnasium right there.
Sure, sure.
So that's sometimes better be lucky than good.
It's that is true. That is good.
So
Anyway.
anyway.
But so Legacy Center. Well, thank you for the Legacy Center. Thanks for making that happen.
The citizens of Lehi, it was just. I do take credit for kind of, hey, something's got to be done here.
Sure. Yeah. And was it hard to get passed? I mean, from a financial standpoint, was there a vote that, that?
No. Actually, the citizens had turned down a general obligation bond.
Okay.
For basically a performing arts center.
Okay.
And the citizens had turned it down. And we thought, well, just a minute, maybe we'll put in we'll vote in with the council a revenue bond. And so that's why you have a lunch counter in there.
Okay.
That's why when you go, when I go walking around there, if I don't buy a pass, for the citizens, seniors that I'm part of now, we can go from, we thought, well, if we're going to have a senior citizen component be there, why don't we let the senior citizens come in from 9 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the afternoon and walk for free. And we put exercise stuff in some corners so they wouldn't have to pay. They could do it for free.
Oh, wow.
If they want to come during those times when the place wasn't busy.
Yeah.
And
so that's why those are in the corners. I've always wondered that. Like,
exactly.
Because I just figured they didn't have enough equipment or, enough space for it.
They're there because basically from 9 until 2, the seniors could go exercise without, for those, some of them are on fixed incomes.
Sure.
And they all got dinged for, to pay for it.
Sure.
If they own property in town, they paid for it too.
Sure.
And it was like, so I thought, well, maybe it ought to be a perk for lasting long enough, and that we'll make it so they can come. But the biggest thing was if they come early to walk, maybe they'll stay for dinner. Or if they come to dinner, maybe they'll stay and exercise after dinner. Okay. That was the thought process that went into that. Sure. And I came home from, my wife and I went on a mission to East Africa. I told you that already, I think. Yeah. And we got back, and the time was actually from 10 to 2. Okay. And my boy owned the assisted living center right across the street north of it. Yep. And we got back, and I was helping him with maintenance on his place, and I thought, man, I need to go down at 9 o'clock. Maybe I'll just start going over and walk at 9 instead of waiting until 10. Sure. And so I asked Dan Harrison, would it be possible I just come and walked at 9 instead of 10?
Mm-hmm.
And well, no, he says, we can't do that. He says, these things are put together for a reason. And he says, we have to stay with that. And I thought, Dan, I hired you. You dumbass. I hired you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so I didn't fight with him, and never mind.
Sure.
I'll come. But we did. Oh, the reason we had to go at 9, I wanted to come at 8. Paul and Doris Peterson,
Mm-hmm.
they was like, why can't we come at 9 instead of having to wait until 10?
Sure.
And then that's what I'm getting mixed up here a little bit. And so I said, well, I don't care.
Yeah.
Come at 9. It
Yeah.
makes no difference.
Yeah.
And so when I asked Dan if we could come at 8 instead of 9, he was like, no, we got reasons.
Yeah. We got reason.
There was no reason.
Yeah. That was a random number.
That's what happens. I guess that's one of my pet peeves about people and rules.
Sure.
Rules become more important than the reason why they have the rule.
And a lot of times the people that did those first rules, it was just a random, there wasn't a lot of thought put into it. It was just, let's do this, you know.
Well, exactly. It seemed like a good idea.
Sure, yeah.
There wasn't any 2 and 2 plus, take away 10, all that kind of stuff. It wasn't
Exactly.
complicated at all.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a common sense thing.
Yeah.
And
No,
it's,
that's good advice. I mean, so focus on, like, hey, why are we doing this? I think sometimes those traditions get passed down, and it's like, well, okay, let's look at this. Is this the best way? Can we fix this? Can we change this, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's just tradition.
and sometimes, if they're not broke, don't fix the doggone thing.
Sure.
Leave it alone.
Sure.
You don't have to change it.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's working, stay out of the way.
Yeah.
So, anyway. So it's, so I got another question?
Yeah. Well, so anything else from your time as being mayor? Anything else, that you learned about the inner workings of how cities work and stuff like that? Things that you didn't know before? I don't know. Anything else from your time as mayor, I guess?
When we were trying to get Costco here in town,
Okay.
Costco and Lowe's and that,
Yeah.
we had made a boundary line agreement with American Fork that worked on for years and years and years. Nobody could ever come to an agreement. I was like, my gosh, who cares?
Yeah.
Where American Fork begins, where Lehi starts.
Yeah.
And so we made that. And then Costco wanted to come in. We needed to have access off. We needed a piece of property that was actually in American Fork now.
Yeah.
And it was, so we were, it was a bad deal. Trying to get through the councils and one thing and another, because just people disagreeing.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get a store and we're not going to have it, and all this kind of just clutchy mind type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I called Mayor Barrett at the time, and I said, my hell, Ted, can't we just this thing straightened out? This has been going on for months.
Yeah.
And I went over to him, and within 15 minutes, we had it all squared away.
Really?
And he took his account, I took my account,
And done.
and it just went on through. And so there's, you can do things if you work together. Other things that, I had a secretary who was, I'm not going to name any names, so I don't want to cut anybody problems, but she got mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started telling tales, and it goes back to the enemy thing.
Mm-hmm.
She started telling people how much money I'd made because Micron and they created a new company called some MD Flash or something.
Oh, I Am Flash?
I Am Flash.
Yeah.
I Am Flash. Went along with Intel.
Mm-hmm.
Micron Intel, and they formed a new company.
Yeah.
And they started working right up here.
Mm-hmm.
And she started telling people I'd made millions of dollars by being, and people believe it. You can't fight that.
Yeah.
You can't. And as these tales, as they roll forward, the more you try to defend it, the worse it becomes. So you just have to learn to shut your mouth.
Yeah.
And I,
Even though you didn't make millions off of it.
well, I went into the, in fact, the Mayor Johnson is the one that actually, revealed it to me, and I just kept my mouth shut. And then one day I went in, my sister had died, and I went in to get the grave stuff squared away, and that, and because we had the office for the cemetery there in the Lehi office building, and I was walking out and I thought, I'm just going to get it off my chest. So I went back to her office and I called her by name. And I said, I just want you to know that I never did do that.
Yeah.
And you know that, so I would never say anything like that about you. Well, actually, you did.
Yeah.
I know you did.
Yeah.
And she started crying and bawling and stuff. And I said, well, I said, I'm sorry. I said, but I know you did it. And I said, you can cry all you want. I said, I said, I want you to know I forgive you. I said, whatever it is, whatever caused you to do it. And so I walked out. And I tried calling Mark at his office, and he didn't pick up. He worked for an engineering company in Orem. And then he called me back a couple hours later. And I picked up the phone. He was laughing. And he said, she had me on the phone before he got down the front steps, Greenwood. She was chewing on his butt because she had told him.
Yeah.
And he's the one that told me.
Gotcha. So that's, yeah, she knew how it got back to her.
I knew how, and so it got back. And she was so mad at him, calling him names. But when the natural man is carnal, sensual, and devilish.
Sure.
And I believe that.
Sure.
You and me both.
Yeah, of course.
We all got that within us. And
yeah.
Who knows when it gets, for whatever reason, we push the button, it pops its ugly head.
Yeah.
And it, so I give people credit there. Sometimes, for whatever reason, they got their toes stepped on.
Yeah.
But I forgive her. I haven't forgotten it yet.
Sure.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah, you don't care anymore. Yeah, that's good. Do you, you mentioned some of the previous mayors and stuff like that, that have served after you. I think I've heard sometimes you guys go to lunch, and is there a bond that takes place between mayors? Some kind of that shared experience that you've had.
There's I've never felt close to them because I felt like they were they've badmouthed me in some pretty good ways.
Sure.
It's only been about 2 years ago. Crap, I haven't been there for 20 years.
Sure.
In fact, and in fact, it's only been 2 years ago. I said they're going to badmouth you tonight at city council meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So I went down and the mayor and the city council and sat there and I said, well, everything that Greenwood did, he did on the cheap. Mm-hmm. And in the city attorney said, well, every legal document he signed has no legal consequence. Just talking about the soccer field up above town now. And it's just like, that's my hell, guys. Get over it.
Sure.
Just forget it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, there's no need to throw rocks. I ain't going to run against you ever again.
Yeah.
And so to say we're close, nah. I mean, I'm not mad at him.
Sure.
I just don't have any use for him.
Sure.
And I don't want to go to lunch. We went to lunch here, I don't know, a year ago or so with Bert and
sure.
Mark and I think Ron Smith.
Okay.
And here's just been a few months ago. I read in the Lehi Ledger. Here it is about this good old boy thing in town, about Greenwood when he got elected mayor. It was through the good old boy apparatus in town. The thing they forgot, I signed the damn legislation to change it. And they were throwing rocks at me even then.
Wow.
It's only been a few months ago.
Sure.
And I don't know who's on the council now. I apologize again for names. But a friend of mine called him and said and he called me and said, I'm so sorry.
Sure.
He said, I didn't, and that came from one of the ex-mayors.
Sure.
Saying that the only reason I got in was from the good old boy standpoint.
Sure.
Actually, I like the good old boy standpoint.
Sure.
But I'm the one that put the kibosh on it.
Yeah, you stopped it. Yeah.
Because I only ran for mayor. In fact, there's another story. I was going to run for mayor, and Frances Coomer, she was a councilman, and she called me and forbid me to run for mayor. And I had just got through talking to the Sunderland guy. He was going to run for mayor, and he was on the council. He called me and says, if I was going to run, I said, well, if you're going to run for mayor, I'll just run for council.
Sure.
No big deal.
Sure.
I had no more than hung up the phone, and Francis called and forbid me to run for mayor.
Oh, wow.
So I on the phone, I started reading it to my wife, and I says, I guess I have to run for mayor now.
Because he told me not to.
It was a her.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
And she hated my guts. And then I told her, I said one time, Francis, I said, you and I are going to become best friends before this is all over. She says, no, we won't. And I actually got to talk at a funeral from Africa.
Oh, wow.
And it was pretty cool. And so it's, and I should be a little bit softer in some of my, I'm not mad at anybody.
Yeah.
I just, it's hard to get over things when people, when they bear false witness,
Sure.
that's a hard one to get over.
It is a hard one.
It's hard.
Yeah.
If it was the truth, hell, I'd admit to it.
Sure.
I mean, I really would.
Yeah. No. Hey.
I
Yeah.
mean, but it's a false witness. There's a reason why that's put in the 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a biggie.
It is a hard one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's maybe one of the things that people don't always realize that comes with being in a public office, because you're the spotlight's on you, and if you have an opinion this way and people don't like that, they got to tear you down, I guess, sometimes, right?
For some way, maybe it's always been that way, but it's someone who says things out of ignorance.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. If people just don't know.
Sure. If they don't know. Sure. Yeah.
In fact, I told them in council meeting one night, I forget what the whole thing was about, and I said, I'm not sure who it was. I said, Mark Twain, I think it was. He says that we're all ignorant, just about different things.
Sure.
And I told that to the audience out there. And then after the meeting, someone she was sobbing. I mean, she was just shaking, sobbing. Real tears coming out.
Yeah. Sure.
And I said, ma'am, what is the matter?
Yeah.
And she's trying to talk to me, and she couldn't get it out. Finally, she says, you called me ignorant,
Oh.
I didn't call you ignorant. I said, we're all ignorant.
Sure.
Just about different things.
Yeah, I included myself in that group, is what
Exactly.
you're saying. Yeah.
I mean, it's just, we're only ignorant until we know it, and then we're not ignorant anymore about that thing.
Sure.
And so it's just, I'm starting to get personal about stuff. I don't know if it's what you wanted.
Yeah, no, this is good. You're
sorry.
good. When I appreciate that. I mean, it's really just to get to know you, and I think this has been good. And it's good to hear some of the things that you did. Obviously, I love Costco and I love the Legacy Center, so thank you for both of those things.
We had Costco would not come if they didn't have a little hook ramp coming out on the 89.
Okay.
And we talked to, he was Region 3 UDOT director, and he had an emergency meeting down here in Utah County, and was going to meet with the tracks. I can't think of his name. The railroad people. He says, when you meet with those people, and he was there to this meeting. He says, do not meet with him alone. He says, make sure that I'm there. And he says, you tell me what it is, and he says, I'll be there. And so I called him up and told him, we're going to meet at such and such time. He says, I'll be there. And so I drove up with the guys from Costco, and we had it was all put together because they had to adjust the right-of-way along the railroad track to get that little hook ramp coming out on the south side there.
Yeah.
And we walked in, we got in there, and this, Mike, apologize again for names, but he denied that we had that agreement.
Oh.
And the guy from UDOT stood up and said, no, Mike. I think his first name was Mike. He said, no, Mike. He says, reminded him. And anyway, we got it all approved. It was all approved. We was walking out down the hallway, and the guy from Costco ran around in front of me and got down in front of me, bowed down like he worshiping a Buddha, and he says, you must be God. Only God could have got that approved.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't God.
Sure, no.
It was just having people who were being honest.
Yeah.
Who stood up for agreements instead of agreeing to something and then
going back on it.
Go back on it. Type of thing.
Sure.
And that's probably I had that happen when I was mayor with the school district at the high school.
Yeah. Trying
to move fences to try to get, because it was a dangerous situation with school buses parking there, kids darting out, and traffic going by, and that,
Is that the high school, Lehi High School?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, over here. And it, when he was going to build onto the high school, I met with them, and I told them, I says, watch you guys. I says, we met in the and I went up to the junior high, and I counted the cars. There were 13 cars parked at the junior high. And I came down to the high school, and I said, there's like, I forget how many cars were illegally parked down to high school. I said, you don't have enough room.
Yeah.
I said, why don't we turn that into a middle school or do something and build a high school because your shorts are too tight.
Sure.
You don't have enough room to get in the shorts.
Sure.
You have too big a butt.
Yeah. Sure.
Just, we can develop as a business area. You'll have money to buy the property and expand it out. And so this guy from Pleasant Grove, contractor. He said, you guys, me, I think if you yell loud enough, long enough, you can get anything you want. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay. So I went on, and they were building on the junior high, and they were building onto the high school. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't give us the plans. Mm. The city's supposed to have the plans.
Sure.
For emergency, whatever it is, when you're constructing it, when it's built, whatever. The city's supposed to have those plans. I mean, that big around, that tall.
Yeah.
And it rolls the plans. And so I told Ted Carter, he was our chief building inspector, I said, go shut them down, go red tag them. Mm-hmm. If you can't they won't give you the plans, just red tag them.
Sure.
He came in my office and he said, okay. He says, I'm on my way. He said, but I'm not going alone. You got to come with me. So we went.
Sure.
And we red tagged both sites. Mm-hmm. And that same guy, I wish I could remember his name. Maybe it's good I can't. They wouldn't put me on the agenda to talk to the school board. Mm-hmm. And so I stood up during the public input time. I was going to stand up during the public input time. And I was over there before the meeting started. And I was standing in front, and he walked up to me, and he started poking me in the chest. And I told him, I says, don't poke me in the chest one more time.
Yeah.
Or it'll be nothing but assholes and elbows right here in front of everybody.
Yeah.
So poke me one more time.
Yeah.
He didn't poke me another time.
I'm sure he didn't.
I kind of wished he had.
Sure.
I was a lot younger then.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I was hoping he would.
Sure.
Because I wanted him bad.
You were ready to go. Yeah.
But it's, here we are now with a high school they sell 800 permits and they got 500 parking spots.
Yeah.
They took out the tennis courts, so they needed them for other stuff. You could see it coming from a mile away, but it's hard to tell other people what to do.
Sure.
With my tax money.
Sure. Yep. It is. Yeah. And a lot of these problems take time to fix too. There's not an easy solution for that problem right now, quickly at least,
It'd cost more just to buy the property now than they got in this whole school.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's no property left.
Yeah, there's no, yeah.
So as far as big acreages, one thing, it's hard to find.
Yeah.
And those that are is multi-unit housing.
Yeah.
So, but anyway.
Talk to me, like, obviously, you went on this mission and stuff like that. Talk to me a little bit more about the mission. What did you do on the mission there in East Africa?
We started off being Church Education System, CES mission.
Okay.
And we ended up, we were sent down the coast of Tanzania.
Okay.
And we ended up being the other senior couple there. They had to come home. And so just my wife and I, and we had 6 young missionaries down there.
Okay.
And so we basically got to do it all for about half our mission.
Okay.
It was I'm not really computer oriented. I can tell you are.
Sure. And
so I was I kept me a drawer full of cash. If I was short, I added money.
Just added.
If I was long, I took some out and put it in the drawer.
Yeah, that works.
Stuff like that.
Sure.
I mean, I just made it work.
Sure.
I told the mission president, I said, I'll do the best I can.
Yeah.
I said, it's not going to be all that good, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
And so by the time we got another one there, we'd been there for quite a while. So we got the taste of all, and it was really a neat experience.
Sure. Good.
So,
good.
And you want any more personal stories? Or
sure. Yeah. Let's hear it. Yeah. Go ahead.
We was getting ready to go, and the 1st of January was supposed to report the MTC on the 7th of March.
Okay.
And on the 3rd of March, the phone rings, and somebody, Elder Greenwood, and it's home the Church Missionary Department said, we'll have you report to the MTC on the 7th of June instead of the 7th of March. And I said, that's great. I said, but I won't be there. You'll have to get someone else. I said, I spent 3 weeks arranging my business affairs and someone to take care of my house. I'd have a granddaughter. They were going to move in and live there while we were gone. They'd give up their place.
Sure. You had a plan.
So I said, well, if we don't go on 7th March, just forget it. We won't be going. And he said, can I call you back? And I said, yeah, sure. He called back in about 10 minutes and we'll have you report at the 7th of March. And so it's just, and I've learned a little bit, when you're in a position of authority, you really need to treat people as people, not as pieces of on the chessboard or something.
Sure.
Just to move them around at will.
Yeah.
Because they got their lives that they're living, and it's whether they're getting paid or if they're getting paid, I guess that's a different story. But we're primarily volunteer type of thing. Better pay attention to their, not just a move for convenience sake type of thing. And we had they changed the mission to an English-speaking mission just before we got there, and just after we left, they changed it back to a Swahili-speaking mission. But there was this young lady there. She dearly wanted to go on a mission, and President Barger, he took us out to dinner one night, and every 6 weeks he'd come 600 miles down to the coast and go to dinner and hold, meetings with this and that. But we sat at dinner, and I said, President, I says, I can't stand and recite DNC4 with you anymore. He said, well, why is that? And I said, well, I don't want to recite the whole thing, but it says in there, if you have a desire for the work, it qualifies you for the work. I said, you're not calling Anna on a mission. And I says, and she really wants to go. So she has a desire. And I says, you're not following your own scripture.
Counsel, sure, yeah.
And he said, and he just went quiet. And he came back the next 6 weeks. He said, all right, Greenwood. He said, I'll call her on a mission. I'll call her to my mission, so I won't be sending a problem to someone else's mission. And I don't care. She wants to go on a mission. She didn't care which one.
Yeah.
And so he said, okay, go ahead and get her papers ready. So the next day, we went over to the little branch president, was filling them out. And we'd say, okay, Anna, here, she was just like, she couldn't read what we was trying to have her read. She signed. And my wife had a pair of these glasses you buy at the drugstore that kind of magnifies things a little bit. Yeah. She said, Anna, here, try them. She put them on. She could write and sign. She couldn't see.
Oh.
She couldn't see.
So jeez.
So we took her down, and she needed prescription glasses. We got her some new glasses. She served a successful mission to South Africa. It got too dangerous down there for lady missionaries, so they withdrew the lady missionaries out of South Africa. Yeah. And doggone if they didn't send her back to the Kenya-Nairobi mission. And her plane was landing, coming in, and his plane was taking off, going out. Wow. So she did serve in his mission, but he wasn't.
But he was gone.
So it's funny how things work out.
That is funny. No, I love that. That's a great story.
But it's good. So I recognize the hand of God in a lot of things, and I believe in God. I believe in what I do and what I did. And I'm grateful for it all. I mean, I don't have any regrets what I did, or even what I didn't do as a mayor. I've done the best I could. Sure. And it made a lot of friends. I made a few enemies, probably more than I know, but sure. But most people have forgotten about it now. Yeah. And it doesn't matter anymore. So in fact, I got to meet you.
Yeah. No, that's right. Thing. That's right.
So
well, and kind of as we conclude here, then I guess just thinking back on your life. I mean, obviously you've had a good life, and hopefully we'll have many more years, but
86 is enough.
But as you look back on your life, what do you want most to be your legacy, or the thing that people remember, both in the community and obviously in your family and different things. But talk to me about that.
Oh, in my own family life, I'm so grateful for a loving. God's important in her life, and God's important in my life. I'm grateful for that. We've got 5 kids who are so far, none of them in jail.
Sure.
I don't think they beat up on their kids or their wives. Or their husband or whatever. Yeah. And if I was to pick one single thing out, personal-wise, it'd be my family. I mean, that's the top spot for me.
Top spot, sure.
I mean, there's no question about that. So, community-wise, I got a lot of friends we made mayor, and I had a good time.
Yeah, good.
I mean, I went to so many meetings, and I hate meetings, but I never had a meeting, mayor, and I didn't think about it as being, when's it going to be over?
Sure.
I mean, it was just things needed to be done, and I don't mind doing that.
Sure.
And I got the hidden nickname of Handyman Mayor, because I'd done a lot of repairs around the city. Sure. We didn't have any money.
Sure.
Now, when I went in mayor, we couldn't pay the payroll and the city bills all at the same time.
Oh, wow.
We had to pay one or the other and wait for float to come in before we could pay the rest of it. I mean, we were that close financially.
How come we were so close? Like what?
Didn't have enough money.
Just the tax base, I guess. It just wasn't. There just
No, there was. the power department in town, we had 3 different transformers. They couldn't talk to each other. There were different voltages in the transformers. We were losing so much electricity and line loss. It was incredible. The first 4 years I was mayor, the whole thing, we call it a cutover. We were replacing lines and getting putting a couple of new substations and putting them all on so you could wheel power from one to the other. If you had power outages in one part of town, you couldn't close this shut off here and wheel power from the other one down to it because there was different lash ups.
Sure.
It was insane. And so there's when we got rid of got that, I mean the electrical department in Lehi City is extremely profitable. Extremely profitable.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, when I left we had $6 million in surplus we was going to use for community projects type of thing. And this is what your power department is giving you back.
Sure.
For your stuff, and but we got so many people on the payroll in Lehi City. I don't know how they do it.
Sure.
I mean, we had a full-time police department. Now they got 3 full-time fire stations.
Yeah.
Manned for 24 hours a day.
We've grown a lot.
Nearly 90% of the fires in the whole United States are taught by volunteer firemen, not full-time ones. You need full-time response.
Sure.
Emergency first responders. You don't need a full-fledged fire department going every time. It's just, here again, that's opinion.
Sure.
By just watching what's happening in other places, you don't need to have 3 and a 4th being built that's staffed with 4 fire chiefs and four hierarchies of a fire department.
Sure.
I just don't think you need it.
Sure.
There's another way to do it.
Sure.
And I'm not saying they're stealing money.
No.
They're spending money with a place they don't need to do it.
Sure.
This is a visible thing that I think is wrong.
Sure.
And it's so I'm going to vote for those who are not incumbent. I want to change it. I want a change of attitude.
Sure. I get it. Well, I really appreciate you coming on and getting to know you a little bit better and all. Obviously, you've done a lot of good in the community.
Well, you don't know that. I don't know what I tell you. I might be lying.
I think you have done a lot of good in the community. So, I think you've led and obviously done good in the world. In the mission and different things like that, and your family and stuff. So, but I think you leave a good legacy, and I'm sure your children are quite happy to have you as a father and grandfather and stuff. So.
I hope so. I think they are, and I appreciate you and the opportunity to come and talk to you. I don't know if this will do any good or not. I don't know if
this is perfect. It's all part of the community. It's keeping our community together.
Well, whatever it is.
So
it's but thank you for having me down and giving me a chance to lip off.
Yeah.
So
this is good. Yeah. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Roots and Branches of Lehi. I hope today's story helped you feel a little more connected to the people who make up our community. Remember, every person here has a unique story, and together, we're what makes Lehi feel like home. If you know someone who would be a great fit for this podcast, please fill out the form in the show notes so we can reach out and schedule an interview. We'd love to hear from you. A big thank you to our sponsors, the Work Harding Home Mortgage Team and Play Harding Nightly Vacation Rentals, for supporting this show and helping us bring our community closer together. Until next time, keep growing those roots and reaching out to your branches. Take care.